Okay, so in one of my previous videos, which you should be able to see up here, I was talking about trying to control my video camera, which is a Sony cx450, via some kind of remote tool. Now I've managed to connect my iPhone to it using a program called Errata, which was an app, and using the wireless function within the camera. But that seems to take a little while to set up, and you've got to go through it, and sometimes the Wi-Fi does allow it to connect and sometimes it doesn't. So what I've actually got here is a little wireless device which plugs into the side of the camera, which allows me to sit here and I can control things on the camera, such as the start, the stop, the zoom, and whether or not I want grid lines on the screen. There's a two-stage zoom on it, which is a slow zoom or the fast zoom. Now obviously it works zooming in and zooming out, so that's okay. So why would I use this as opposed to reaching over? Well, sometimes if you're sat and you want to capture a background, or you just want to talk into a camera, you don't want to be reaching forward if you set everything up and you're ready to rock and roll. So this is a function now. I've got this remote in my hand where I can actually just control the camera as I want. And if I want to, I can stop the recording. I can also turn the camera off as well. So this product is called a JJC SR-F2, and it seems to be applicable to a lot of the Sony cameras, which have got the sort of port in the side, which you would download your video files from, etc. if you plug it into a computer. But it seems to be like a multi-function port as well, which is quite useful. So this product came in at £24, I don't know what it is in US dollars, and it took about 2 weeks to arrive. Came from China, as everything does nowadays, but it seems to do the job, and it's a dumb and stupid system, but it means that I'm connected to the camera by a wire rather than using my phone and having to sort of look down on my phone, because I've just got this in my hand and I've got manual buttons, so it's simple stupid really, but it seems to work, which is cool. So this is the remote. As you can see, it's a tiny little thing. It doesn't take any batteries because it takes its power in essence from the camera. There is a standard tripod screw on there if you really wanted to screw on a tripod, or you could potentially have this on one of those multi-plates where you could have this attached to a plate along with the camera so you could operate it. But ideally I wanted this so that I didn't actually have to touch the controls on the camera, and it works fine. The wire that it comes with is about, I suppose, a meter long, so you're not going to try and operate this from the other side of the room. If you want something like that, then you need a wireless one, which is about 30 to 40 pounds, which I've not tried, but I'm assuming it'll probably work just the same. There is a button on here to take a picture with. This is also like the locking slider, where you can actually lock the function, so none of these things on here will actually work other than the start and stop button. You've got a function on there to turn the grid lines on the camera. Obviously the power, you can power the camera on and off. You can start the recording, and so you've got a zoom in and out, and it's two-stage, so you've got like a slow zoom or you've got a fast zoom. But that's basically about it. For the money, what you've also got in the box was this clip, which enables you to obviously attach it to something if you want to manually clip it to, say, something else. So you can actually put that in there. That should slide in there, so you can actually stand that on something and use the buttons, or clip it to your pocket or whatever. So that's all good stuff. What I will say is that the material it's made out of is a bit cheap and nasty. This is actually probably the most solid part of it, is the bracket. This thing is so lightweight, there's nothing in it, but if it does what you need it for, what's to worry? Another thing I've just noticed as well, trying this on my Sony camera, which I think is an HX60, is that the device actually works on this as well. So I just power that on, the camera powers up, the zoom, if you can see that is working, I can take a still photo. There we go, actually recording video. I can stop it, and I can turn the grid lines off, turn the grid lines on. Let's say take a photo, and when I've finished, I can power it off. So that is the JJC SR-F2, which is a really useful little device if you're trying to do photography and you don't want to touch the camera, because there are times when your exposure is going to be a little bit longer and you don't want to introduce any camera shake by pressing buttons, or your camera is really low down because this doesn't have a foldy screen. So you might want to be able to control that independently, which this will do. And as I say, this does not require any batteries, so that is another cool feature. There you go.